Good morning, everybody. I'm here with Jonathan Webster of ADU Pros. And you're probably saying, what is ADU? Well, that's an accessory dwelling unit, otherwise known as a granny flat or a mother-in-law unit that you can have on your property. And Jonathan, why don't you tell us a little bit about the changes that have been happening over the last couple of years specifically with the city of San Diego or the county of San Diego?
Actually, all of California.
Okay.
Basically, due to the housing crisis, lack of housing we have here, and the increased prices, people are struggling to find places to live.
Right.
So the California government passed laws in January 2017 saying that every residential lot in California could put a granny flat on it. And they mandated that all cities and counties had to come up with their own granny flat laws, within certain boundaries to allow it for everybody. What's great is most places have got on board. Well, everyone has to allow it, and most places have embraced it.
Sure.
And which is great. So recently, the city of San Diego and the county of San Diego have waived a lot of the fees.
Yeah.
Now everyone's going around saying all the fees. Not true.
Well, I mean, I remember calling for some clients, and talking to the county or the city planning department, and it was going to be somewhere around $100,000 for them to comply and get the permits for their specific property for a granny flat. And they're just like, yeah, that's just out of range for us. So what are we looking on average right now for like the permitting fees in the city of San Diego?
So permitting fees aren't the only fees, and that's the big mistake.
Oh, okay. I made a mistake.
But the permitting fees have gone down a lot. In the city of San Diego, you're looking about $6,000 for
wow, that is a huge difference.
That's just plan check and inspection fees. So,
okay.
One's about $2,500, one's about $3,500.
Okay.
But the real one that can really get people, and they don't really realize on a cost basis, is you might have to upgrade your water meter. And
I didn't know that either.
Yeah, the city of San Diego waives their fee for the upgrading of the water meter, and that's where all the confusion comes in.
Oh.
The water districts are another entity in entirety, and they haven't waived their fees.
Okay. So the city of San Diego, though, I know that I'm on city water, living in Ocean Beach here. We are in city water. So you're saying in the city of San Diego they waive the fees, but say like a mutual water company outside of the city limits, is that what you're talking about?
Well, even there's the San Diego Water Authority.
Oh, I didn't know that.
San Diego County Water Authority.
Okay.
So everyone in this region has to pay to them no matter what. So they have an additional fee, and if you have to upgrade, it depends how much your upgrade has to be. Now most people are generally upgrading from a 3/4, like from a 1/2 to a 3/4 or 3/4 to a 1. Generally, you're talking
inch
about
pipe.
Yeah,
right? Okay.
pipe.
Just
that's the size of the that's the opening of the
got
water
it.
meter.
Got it. Okay.
And that's typically around $5,000.
Okay.
Which is not bad. But then if your water lateral going out to the water main is too small for that new pipe, you might have to go all the way to the water main, which is going to be another $6,000. So it's expensive. And some water districts, other than like San Diego, are really expensive. So
so it's still a little bit apprehensive as far as people being able to do it for pretty cheap. What about? Not to go into specifics, but I've heard of people converting garages for granny flats. Is that still something that's allowed within this permitting process?
Yes, it's definitely allowed.
Case by case basis, I'm sure.
No, and pretty much as long as your garage is already permitted, it's not a problem. That's the easiest conversion to do. Way to add a granny flat, because you don't have to worry about parking. You don't have to worry. You already know it's allowed according to the zoning, because it's grandfathered in that as long as you're converting the garage. The only thing you have to worry about is you still need parking for the main house. Okay. So parking is a single issue that kills these granny flat builds. I have a client who called me the other day who basically said, hey, my client who's a realtor, converted their garage illegally years ago, and wanted to see they want to sell now and want to sell it with a permitted granny flat, and there was just nowhere to replace the 2 parking spots that were required for the main house. Oh. So that's the biggest thing to be aware of.
Okay. So parking is still an issue. As a real estate agent, I would highly suggest this for anybody who is going to have a multi-generational living situation. It gives everybody space. It also could provide you with a possible rental situation and provide somebody that needs a rental with housing. That's really important too, because like you said, we have a housing shortage in San Diego. So I just think it's nice it's not $100 grand anymore.
No, it's not even close. You're talking, if you have to upgrade the water meter, maybe your top's $15 grand in the city of San Diego.
Yeah, and that's not too bad, all considered. So anything else we should talk about as far as what to look out for when you're actually going to build from the ground up and add an additional unit to the property?
Definitely. Again, parking and making your budget, knowing the fees are obviously really important, and making sure we're satisfied with those. The other one is there's a lot of small lots here that people want to put granny flats on. And one thing that you can run into down the line when you start construction, the inspector is going to want to make sure that you're not in the setbacks.
Okay.
And they require what's called a setback certification. And these small lots, sometimes we're trying to shove this granny flat in a really tiny spot, and we're assuming the property line's in a particular place.
Right.
So for a lot of very small lots, I do recommend a survey up front, so you you might think you know where your property line is, but you might not. You might spend thousands of dollars, tens of thousands of dollars in the fees and paying the architect to get the granny flat permitted, and then you go in and find out you can't build it because the property lines are
that's really something you probably want to do in the first place if you even think your lot's too small.
Yeah.
I mean, when we say small lots, there's lots around here in Mitsubishi that are 2,500 square feet.
Yeah, exactly.
So, and some of them are zoned for high density, so I mean, would that be a consideration when it comes to it, or is it just always a setback situation?
It's except you always have to follow the setbacks. I've done dozens and dozens of builds in cities or different places in the county, and even on huge lots, the inspector always requires a setback cert. It's just something they do, so you might as well do it up front.
I would. That seems like it makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, if you have a huge lot, then you don't have to spend the money now. You can spend it later. If you have a small lot, you might as well spend it now and avoid any problems.
Overall, I think that's like, if you're already spending the money on the other stuff, you might as well do that one first, just to make sure that you're good. Otherwise, you're spending money it's wasted.
Yeah, exactly.
So
it's a great investment. Don't throw away money in the process. So, you can get amazing returns on investment with granny flats. That's the single best investment right now in real estate in San Diego, and the returns you can get. But you don't want to throw away a bunch of money and find that you can't do it. That's where we come in. We help people make sure we do the process properly, so that they avoid all those pitfalls and have a successful build, an affordable build.
Yeah, I like that. And somebody that's knowledgeable about it, I think, is really important to hire a professional, especially when it comes to this kind of money, when you get into the thousands of dollars and investing in something that may or may not happen. I think it would be really worthwhile to have you guys come in.
Yeah, I do a free site visit, and I tell you everything you need to be aware of.
That's great.
And walk people through it.
Wow, I'm definitely keeping that in mind for the clients that I have.
Perfect. Yeah.
Is there anything else that you want to say about your business or?
Just give us a call, and we'll make the process easy for you.
Okay.
We're high quality. We hit our deadlines, and we put the client first. So I work for you. I don't work for contractors. I don't work for architects. I work for you, and I put the team together. And I always put your priorities first before other people I work with.
You work like me.
Yeah.